This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Ember model 191 MDB. Okay, so let's start off at the front here. You have your propane tanks here. Okay, you got your weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control on here, but we'll show you how that hooks up when you pick up. So take care of that. Now the difference that you see up here, the first thing is that it has a different type of tongue jack. It's more like a power stabilizer jack like you'd see on some larger trailers, but this is strictly for the tongue. So that operates here. You see, like so. Hopefully you can see that. Take care of that. Also, you have a battery here, right? Also keep in mind that in this compartment here is a kill switch for the battery. Right now it's on. If you wanted to shut it off, you could do that. Okay. I'm just looking to see what this. I'm not familiar with that. One control. Okay. This is a pre-wire for something. You'll have to talk to a salesman. I've never actually seen that one before. But this button right here is for the power inverter. So you see I turned it on. You can hopefully see that as green there. Now it's inverting power. That means it's taking 12 volt DC from your battery and converting it to 110 AC. Right? That's inversion. Inside the trailer there's also a converter which does the opposite. Converts AC to DC power. So you start with 110 AC and it'll convert it to 12 volt DC. The inverter goes from 12 volt DC to 110 AC. Okay, and there'll be a plug inside the trailer that's marked inverted, so you'll be able to plug an appliance in that one plug. We'll find it when we get inside anyway. Always shut it off. Never run the inverter unless you need to invert power. There's no reason for it. Well, we're standing right here. These are your this is your water dock here. So you've got your gray tank here, your black tank here, right? Now you can this right here is your black tank flush. So what you can do after you dump the black tank, you can leave it open, leave the valve open, hook the hose at the dump station on here, turn it on, it'll spray out the inside of the tank, clean it off really well, clean the sensors, which is very important, so you get a good reading. This is the water pump. You can operate from out here or from inside. Okay. This is your, let me get this right here. This is your city water connection here. So you just hook up there and your trailer's ready to go. You just turn on the water. Now if you are going to a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsites, you can fill your freshwater tank right here. Okay. So let me see here so we can get this right. Right now we're set up. Let's see how we're set up here. We're set up for city water, so you can see this right here. If we want to winterize, I'm going to back up what I said because it's not exactly correct. So the city water, we're set up right now. Green and blue are in this position. Okay, I said that this was to fill the tank, the fresh water tank, but actually it's for drawing winter antifreeze in, and if you want to use a sanitizer product to sanitize your system. That's what this one's for. Now, if you're going to a campground, like I stated earlier, that doesn't have plumbing on the campsite, you can switch the position of these valves here to this position here, if you can see it. So you would go like this, and your hose is still hooked here when you're filling up your tank. So you put it like that and it'll fill up your fresh water tank. Then you can take the water with you and use the pump to pump it out of the tank, and everything will work just like you have a city water hookup. Now if once you filled it up, if you're dry camping, you're going to go to this mode here, as you can hopefully see. You look at that diagram there, you would turn on the water pump and everything will work just like you've got city water, but it'll be pumping from the tank. Okay, and of course the last position there is for sanitizing / winterizing. Okay, so I got that straight. So When I started to say this was for your freshwater tank, that was not right. This is to draw antifreeze and sanitizing fluid through it. This is your city water when you're in this position, and when you change to this position here, it will fill the tank. Okay. All right. Now this is your hot water bypass here. Right now it's in bypass mode. That means when you pump the antifreeze in, it doesn't go into the water heater, which is good. That's what you want. Okay. This is just a little solar hookup here if you want to get a solar battery charger on it. And of course, last but not least, this is just a quick connect sprayer. The hose is going to be inside somewhere. I'll point out when I see it. And also these are cable and satellite and auxiliary into the trailer if you got campground cable or satellite, that sort of thing. Okay? All right, hopefully I made sense for you on that. First of all, I can't see my monitor because of the sun, so I'm not sure I'm getting you a good picture here. Okay, this is also, I notice, is pre-wired for cameras. So it's got a door side and this off door side camera mount here, so you can always purchase cameras for the back and for the left or right side, okay, if you choose to. Okay, we have a slide room that's in right now. You have a really neat suspension on this. You can adjust it. There's a lot you can do with it. Also, it has built-in wheel chocks too. So this will lock up your wheels too once you're in the position you want to be in the campground. So that's cool. Excuse me. You got a 30 amp, 30-foot cord. That's your, of course, where you hook your dump hose up to. That's where you store your dump hose, and that right there. Okay. Now, when you look up here, keep in mind that first of all, it's pre-wired for a backup camera. I showed you the side camera pre-wire, so you can put a backup camera also. While I'm looking up, the manufacturer states you should inspect the roof every 90 days. So you want to go up there or have someone go up there and look at the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation. Make sure the roofing material or the roof attachments weren't damaged by low branches, that sort of thing. Just every 90 days, okay? That's important. People don't do that enough. This is just some people call it a bicycle door or an escape door. If you want, you can push this up, and you can actually store 2 bikes in there when you're traveling. Okay. So this is, first of all, this is a quick connect for the LP system. So if you want to add a grill or anything to the system that's the right pressure, you have to make sure it works on 11 inches in the water column. But any RV place will know with the correct appliances. Okay. Now this here, let's see if I can get this out with one hand. I don't know if I can or not. Yep. All right. So let me see what we got here. This will probably have to be plugged in there also. Yes. So you can see you've got the hose on here, and here's the male end of it, and it will connect right to that quick connect fitting that I showed you. You could also add another, you know, like a actual grill, for example. This is a griddle, and connect it there if you chose to. All right. Let's see if I can get this to go in with one hand now. There we go. Okay. And you have a small refrigerator, works on 110 AC. As soon as you turn on the, as soon as you plug in the trailer to AC power, the refrigerator goes on, and then you have just a little light there. All right, so let me close this up. You have a power awning with LED strip. You have another port for the sprayer, just like on the other side. This is power here, of course. This vent here is for the range hood. So if you're running the fan in the range hood to vent to the outside, you always want to reach up, and there's a tab on each side, and you push up on it so the baffle inside flaps freely. If you're venting to the outside, you always want to do that, or else it won't vent the heat and grease, whatever, from the cooktop to the outside if you don't open that up. Okay, let's go inside here. So your slide room is in, so we'll just send that out first of all. You can see it there, so we'll go to slide out. it. This particular one, you just hold it till it stops, and then you take your finger off of it. Okay. All right, so this is for your power awning right here, in and out. Never leave it out unattended. Of course, you've got lights here, step accent. That's how you turn your water pump on inside here. Okay, you got Bluetooth connection here, so there must be an app for this, I would assume. Check your tanks, your freshwater tank, your black tank, your gray tank. They're all empty. They graduate up in 1/3 increments, so once you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping the gray and the black tank. You see your battery is charged, okay? And this is for the let me look around here for a second. Hold on. I just don't want to give you the wrong info. Yeah, so this right here is an on-demand water heater. Okay, you can choose heating the water. There's a fan, so you choose all from here. It's very simple. Okay. Also, you got plenty of hot water doing it that way. Now this right here is your solar controller. So what it's doing right now, let me just make sure he says it's AGM, but he hasn't changed that, so I'm going to fix that right now. You got a flooded battery. I strongly recommend that if you want to do a lot of off the grid camping, add a second battery and wire them together as 12 volts. That way you'll have plenty of power to invert if you need to. So I'm going to go down here to flooded, and I'll just hold it. That should do it. Oh, actually I hold it here, don't I? There we go. Okay, so now that's correctly. So now it's correctly gonna give you the information. Now there's only one battery. Even if you wire two together as one, it'll still be B. Will be just one battery. So here we go. You've got 100% power. If I push it again, 55 amp hours, right, in storage. Now right now there's 13.9 volts in the battery system, in the 12 volt system, and because where the sun is out, you see the picture of the sun, and you see it going to the solar panel. We're gaining 5.0 amps right now. So 5 amps are being put into the battery by the solar panels. Okay, so it's very self-evident, you know. If you need to charge, you know, let's say everything's dead and you're not everything, that sounds bad. Nothing works, and you need to charge a cell phone, for example, off the solar panel. You could plug it in right there, and the solar panel would charge it. Okay. The range is just a basic range. Top, you're just going to light it, and you're all set. I told you can vent to the outside. That's here, and also a light here. So remember what I said about the baffle on the outside. You always want to open that up when you're venting. Okay, so this is a 12 volt DC refrigerator. So it runs off of 12 volts. Let me show you the bottom half of it. It's pretty big for a smaller camper like this. It's actually really nice. Now, this is the power converter. Remember I showed you the inverter outside. That inverts 12 volts to 110 AC, 12 volts DC. This one does the opposite. It takes 110 AC and converts it to 12 volt DC. So you have regular household type circuit breakers here like you'd see at home, and they're all labeled, right? That's 110 AC. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side. You got circuit breakers and 12 volt fuses there, okay? So when you're plugged in, all the 12 volt power for your trailer is coming from this device here. Also, it's a battery tender. So while you're plugged in, it's going to sense how much energy your battery up front needs, and it'll if it's totally topped off, it'll just trickle a couple amps up there. If it's low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever it needs to charge it up. So keep that in mind. So this also charges your battery. It actually tends it. All right. That's your dump hose there, of course. Okay. Bunks. I guess that's self-explanatory. Your bed folds, or your dinette folds down to a bed, of course. You can see the mechanism there, okay. Now, this is a hide-a-bed. So all you're going to do, I'm not going to even bother bringing it down because I'm sure you've seen all this already. But what you do is you just jackknife this flat by going like this. I know I'm very close to it, so you can't see it very well. But I'll just back up, and then you just fold the bed right over it. Okay. Okay. So the rest of this, you know, we have regular plugs and, of course, USB charging. One of these are inverted, and I would say it's this one. Usually there's a sticker, but all you do is just take a plug tester and you unplug it, and you turn on the inverter, and then just plug it in to see which one it's wired to. It's not going to be able to, you know, you can't, for example, run your air conditioner off the inverter, right? You can run an appliance, a coffee pot, something like that, something smaller on AC power, okay? This is a dimmer. This one happens to be for the LED light strip right there. Okay. Let me look around, see I'm not forgetting anything. The TV. Let's see what we got here. Oh, here it is here. So, it's got 2 speaker zones. Basically all the usual stuff. It's got Bluetooth. I'm sure it has FM radio also. I'm looking right now to confirm it, but I don't see it. But I know it's there anyway. Yeah, AM and FM radio. So this TV does all that. And it does have a swing out bracket. Okay. So like I started to say earlier, this is not a sales video. This is not a floor plan video. This is just a how-to video. I just go over some of the features. I know the camera work's not great, especially today, because like I said, when I was outside I couldn't see the monitor. But it just gives you an idea how everything works. I want to tell you that all these components have literature, and the best thing to do, like let's say with the Go Power, you go to their website. They got a great website, and it'll explain everything in detail. They got articles, they've got videos. You may know all this stuff already. I just sort of have to assume that you don't. I can't go the other way. So keep in mind that there are manufacturers' videos for all the components. Of course, this is your air conditioner here. It works like a window air conditioner, 2 knobs. Okay, so we got all kinds of, we got a night light here. Why they love those amber lights. Okay, now this vent has 3 speeds. You set the speeds here. You can open the lid here. So keep that in mind. Always, when you're using the shower, always run this on low, so you pull the humidity out of the trailer. You don't want to create an environment where mold or mildew could grow. Also, if you've got a lot of people in here and it's the weather where you get a lot of condensation from your breath, for example, you turn this on low, it'll suck it all right out. You won't have any issues with it at all. Okay? For some reason he's got your, because they winterized it. So this normally screws on here, okay? This device here is a water miser. Okay, so what a water miser is it's a recirculator. So instead of just turning on your hot water, waiting for it to heat up while the water just flows down the drain into your gray tank, you would put it in this mode here, right? And what happens is the water loops around between the water heater and here. So you don't waste water. In some areas that have droughts, you're not allowed to waste water. And also, when you just waste it and send it down the drain, it's taking up space in your gray tank. So twofold right there. So you get the benefit of saving water and storage. Now, this blue piece, when it gets hot, it'll turn kind of an amber color, or let's call it a beige color. So that'll change colors. You'll see it's hot. When you see that, you just move the lever to there, and it works like a regular shower. So basically, it's just recirculating the water till it heats up. That's called a water miser. There's the company. Again, they've got videos and everything you need. Okay, now the toilet has, let me see if I can spin this around so you can see it. That's the flush pedal right there. I know I'm all over the place with the camera. I apologize. So when you step on the flush pedal, the black tank is directly below, right, and it's empty. So you can't run the toilet, you can't use it without chemical and water in it. Otherwise the smell will be terrible and it can also get clogged up. So after you hook up your power and your water at the campground, you're going to come in here, you're going to put 1 dose of chemical in the bowl. That pink stuff you're seeing is antifreeze, obviously. You'll see, you'll put the chemical in the bowl, then you'll step on the flush pedal, and when you do, because the water's hooked up, water will come swirling out, wash the chemical into the tank. You'll stand on this long enough to put about 1 gallon of water in the tank, in the black tank. Some people use more, you know, it's up to you. But you should have at least 1 gallon of water and a dose of chemical in the tank before you start using it. Otherwise the smell's terrible and you get clogged up. So keep that in mind. Let's say you're going to stay at the campground for another week, but you had to dump the black tank. Well, you'd come in here and you'd repeat the procedure. You'd put the chemical in there, step on the pedal, put 1 gallon of water. You're all set till next time you flush it, okay? All right. I think we just about got it here. Hopefully the video came out good when I was on the outside of the trailer by the docking, the water dock, because I couldn't see where I was pointing it, so hopefully it's okay. If not, you can always give me a call and I can redo it or talk you through it, whatever, okay? So as I look around, one last thing. This is the carbon monoxide and LP gas detector. So it detects carbon monoxide buildup, LP gas leak. If it goes off, you take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front, figure out what's going on. It's very important. If it's not green, you get it serviced because it's obviously an important safety device. Also, if it beeps very slowly, it's telling you your battery or batteries, whichever you have, are low. So I'm going to just send it through the paces here so you can hear it. Whoops, right there. That's LP gas is good. Carbon monoxide coming up. And low battery alarm. Okay, and then back to green. Okay, so like I said, if it beeps slowly, that's your battery's low. Okay. So let me look around. I think I've got everything here. That's all the important. So the microwave works like any other microwave. Nothing unique about it. Okay. Good. Okay, well I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting your roof every 90 days. That's important. And right now your trailer is winterized. So keep in mind before you camp in it, you have to flush the water out in the springtime, obviously. I know you must have owned trailers before, or I assume you did. No matter what people tell you, you cannot camp in the wintertime with water, because as soon as you have to have the furnace running even when you're pulling it down the road, for example, because as soon as you let it go below 32, things are going to start to freeze. So I know that's basic stuff, but you would be surprised how many people believe they can get away with camping in the winter without antifreeze in the system. So, okay, thank you.